Hi everyone. I had a student send me an email which I thought was just absolutely gorgeous and really highlighted a lot of the issues around beginning phonemic awareness and then moving into learning how to read and write. So I thought I'd make a bit of a video for this student because it's hard to explain things around phonology in writing because it's about sounds, and I thought everyone else would benefit as well. So the email, without going into too much detail, she was saying that she was testing out some ideas on her son, and she said something to the effect of what sound can you hear in monkey, or something like that. Now, to a 4-year-old child, they're going to think, they don't think of the word monkey as a word, they think of it as a concept. So if you ask them what sound does monkey make, or what sound does monkey start with, they're going to say, ooh, which is really adorable, but it kind of makes sense. And I had another teacher last year say that she had asked a question, a similar question of a student in a prep/kindy class, and she said, what sound can you hear in fish? And the child said, boop, 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 like the bubbles coming up, which was, I nearly died laughing. So we have to be really, really clear about how we're communicating with children when we're developing their very early phonemic awareness skills and their phonological awareness skills. So let's say I want to introduce the concept of a phoneme. So going along the lines of this idea of monkey, I really want the child to be able to hear that there's that at the beginning of the word. But the discussion might be something like this. All right, we're going to learn about the sounds that we make with our mouth when we say words. And then I would probably, knowing how egocentric children are, start with them. So let's say the child's name is Sophia. I would say, okay, listen when I say your name and look at my lips and look what happens. Sophia, what sound did you hear at the very, very beginning? And you might need to repeat it a few times. Then you can say with them, you try it with me. And then you say, stop, what's that sound? Oh, that's right, that's the first sound in your name. And then I might try mine and say, oh, mine's a bit tricky. It's v. And then you'd say, does that make your mouth tickle? What's happening with your teeth? So you'd want them to be able to explain, oh, well, my teeth are kind of touching my lips and it's getting a bit tingly when I say that sound. So the reason why we do that is because phonology is not just about hearing sounds. It's actually not about that at all. It's about how we process sounds. And part of the processing is learning the articulation, so what the sound feels like when we say it and what it looks like. So that's why babies watch our mouths when they're learning how to speak, because they're taking in this multisensory information. So an activity I might do with animals, I've got this charades kit that I bought ages ago from Kmart. Now the only issue with these is that they have the words on the bottom, so I would be careful just to show them the pictures because we really want to just focus on the sound at this point. So I might say, all right, today we're going to, I always like to make it student-centric. So for example, Matthew, your name starts with the sound. Can everyone say And so we'd practice, then we'd talk about what's happening with the lips. And then I'd say, okay, we're going to think about other words that start with the sound. And this is where the teacher is really important. We have to model, we have to think out loud. So I might say, what is this? And they could say, monkey. Oh, that's right. Now look at my lips. I'm going to say the name of this animal, and I want you to tell me what you can see happening with my lips at the beginning. So I might say, monkey. And then you let them have a go. And you say, can you see my lips are together and I'm making that sound? Because that's the first sound in monkey, the first sound that comes out of my mouth. And it's really important to bring that attention back to the mouth, because it's, to the child, they're like, what do you mean sound in monkey? Monkeys say, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's not the sound in monkey. It's the first sound that comes out of my mouth when I say the word monkey. Okay, so try and separate the concept of monkey with the word monkey when you're looking at the sounds. And then what you want to do is you want to give other examples. So monkey, I've got another one here, mouse, I might say something like Monday. And then what we want to do is we want to contrast it. So I might do an activity saying, okay, now I'm going to say some words and I'm going to show you pictures. And if it starts with the sound, so if the first sound coming out of your mouth is you put your thumb up. But if it doesn't have the sound, put it down. Now, it's very important that you choose wisely. First of all, you don't want to now choose words that start with n, like the letter N, because they're too similar. You also don't want to choose words that have the letter M in them at all anywhere, because we don't want to confuse children. So I might choose something like the S sounds, because that's a little bit different and it's a different shape in the mouth. So I might say, all right, ready? First word is snake. Snake, and hopefully they can say thumb down. And then you say, all right, mouse, thumb up. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, the reason I chose the sound is because when we're introducing phonemes and this whole concept and getting them to learn about sounding out and saying the words, we want to choose sounds that are really easy to hold. So you can, as long as you've got breath, you can hold you can hold s. It allows them time to really feel the sound. It's easy for us to communicate. If we're doing a sound like k to start with, that's right in the back of my mouth. I can't really see what's happening with my lips. So we want to wait until they're kind of a little bit stronger with the sounds, and that might be in a week's time, but we don't want to start with sounds like or k, for example. They're just a little bit trickier to deal with. So you want words that are really easy to see, easy to talk about in terms of how they're positioned in their mouth, and really easy to hear as well. So you don't want to sound a word like like, because it's, I mean, maybe some kids will, if you've got lots of Harrys and Henrys, but that would be a tricky one to start with. And then when you compare and contrast, you want to try and choose sounds that are very, very different, and then you get closer and closer together. So eventually you want them to be able to hear the difference between and n and s and z, yeah? And one of the tricks around things like v and f and s and z, one has a voice on and one has a voice off. So I'm putting my hand on my neck, and kids love this. This is this multisensory again. When I say v, the sound is on, and I know that because my voice box is vibrating and kids can feel it. So when they say z, they can feel it. When they say s, no vibration, voice off. When they say f, the voice is off. So what you might notice is that v and f, same articulation, but voice on and off. So look, Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to learn it all overnight, but what I want you to do is just start experimenting with the sounds and really thinking, is the child going to be able to easily understand what's happening in their mouth if I choose to go with this sound first? Is it going to be easily confused with another sound, for example? So, play around with animals. I'm in my kids' playroom, so, we want to have lots of toys like meerkat. Oh, and the other thing I was going to mention is the reason why you might want to start with consonant sounds is because they involve the lips and the teeth and the tongue. And therefore, it's easier for the child to, hook onto those kind of multi-sensory cues. If I was to start with something like, where's my octopus? Like octopus, it's okay, but it doesn't allow us to have much of a discussion about the mouth. And same with like elephant, we can see that it's not that difficult. But if I had my choice the very first conversations I'd be having, I'd really want them to be aware that our tongue and our teeth are involved. And then I'd be introducing, this one starts with a Can you see? Your mouth is open. It's like a big smile. Elephant. Okay, so I hope that has helped. We'll have to do a separate video on sounding out, but I think this will give you enough of an intro into really starting to think about the sounds that you're making with your mouths.